Smarterfan.
Hey everybody, welcome to another segment of Smarterfan podcast where we bring you behind the veil of sports, business, and life. I'm Joe and this is Barry. What's going on, Barry?
Whole lot going on, Joe. Mr. October is stirring it up again. That Reggie Jackson in a great and awesome way. And I just want to get this out front. He's got a documentary that is incredible called Reggie, and I think it's on Prime or Apple TV.
It's on Prime.
It's on Prime?
Yeah.
I would tell everybody, do yourself a favor, get some popcorn, get the family together, because if you love sports, 360 is the best documentary out there. The best sports documentary out there. He does a fantastic job telling the story.
Yes, he does.
And it just crosses the three majors: basketball, baseball, and football. So I invite anybody to go watch it. But all's well, my friend. All's well. How you doing?
All right. I'm going to talk about Vida Blue.
Yes.
He had a career that spanned 17 years, starting with the A's in 1970. He debuted with a one-hit shutout against the Royals. All right. And then 10 days later, he no-hit the Twins.
Mercy.
And became the fourth youngest pitcher to throw a no-hitter. Now, 71 was his best year. He went 24-8 with 301 strikeouts, 8 shutouts, and he won both the Cy Young Award and the MVP.
Mercy.
And yeah, he was the youngest player to win the MVP.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Now, in my opinion, his best days were with the A's. Okay, he had 3 20-plus win seasons, 5 straight American League West pennants, and 3 straight World Series championships. So he had a hell of a run with the A's. Then he did his first stint with the Giants, and he led them to 89 wins and a third place finish. But he had his ups and downs with them. But his ERA was in the mid to high 2s. Now he'd be an ace today with that. Okay. Then he did a short stint with the Royals. Then he came back to the Giants and played 2 more years, and then he retired in 87 with the A's. So, and he died in May of last year at the age of 73.
Wow.
Now, I have to say, I had the pleasure of meeting him in Cooperstown.
I knew that person looked familiar.
Yeah. And it was funny because a guy saw him on the street and asked him for an autograph. And he told the guy, well, I'll be up at Tunstall's signing at 3:00. You can go there and get an autograph. All right. So later on that day, we were in a bar and he came into the bar and my son and his friend went up to him and said, Mr. Blue, can we have your autograph? He said, sure, go get a couple of balls. I'll sign them. So they went around the corner, got a couple of balls, and he signed them. Made their day completely.
I know that's right. He was one of my favorite players.
Oh, definitely. And back then, he was throwing between 94 and 100. So I have to say, R.I.P. Mr. Blue. So, but it's sad, but hey, that's how it goes. So what's going on with Shawn Kemp?
Well, Shawn Kemp, man, when we talk about 80s, 90s basketball, it's impossible to overlook Shawn Kemp.
Yeah.
You know, and I didn't even know. I just stumble onto these facts, I guess, because I'm trying to catch up to you, beating me like 100-1 on facts. But did you know that Shawn Kemp when he was growing, had grown so fast as a child that he spent a good part of his teenage years in braces, knee braces?
I didn't know that, but I could believe it.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't know it either. And I was like, what? And it's like, yeah, he had grown so fast. You would almost think he had polio because he had the braces up to his hip.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah. And you know, he had just grown into this incredible athletic 6'10", jumping out of the gym, skilled basketball player, you know, and the tape shows it all. And I couldn't believe when I was watching this podcast that he wasn't in the Hall of Fame. It didn't make any sense to me. It was like, how are you going to put Gary in and not put him in, who Gary was throwing the ball to all the time? That doesn't make any sense.
Right?
Right. And so, you know, there's the strong hope that hopefully soon he will be in, because we're talking about somebody. I mean, you just watch what he was doing on the court. It was just on anybody, everybody. It didn't matter, you know.
Yeah.
And one of the things that was interesting, Joe, I know you'll find this interesting, is that when he was potentially choosing a college, he stated that he almost went to UNLV. So it would have been him and Larry Johnson on the same team. Could you imagine?
No, I can't.
It's like, oh my goodness, right? So then he went on to say, you know, he was at, I think, a small college, St. Mary's, and he had to make a decision: go to UNLV or go pro. So he said he had made a call to Magic because he had been playing basically in the summer leagues, and Magic was playing along with others at the UCLA gym. And Magic said, hey, man, based on your skill set, you can go. You can play in the NBA. You know, you can play in the NBA. And so he made the decision to go pro. And so, you know, I hope very soon, you know, that Mr. Kemp, man, it's amazing when you watch a player play and you know what he's going to do because you've watched it a million times, and it's still exciting. It's still exciting. You're like watching this guy fly through the air and go, my goodness, what is this? Anyway. So salute to Mr. Shawn Kemp. And man, he and Gary really put the Seattle Supersonics on the map. Definitely. And with some exciting play coming out of the West. Oh, so yeah, man, I just wanted to share that. I figured I may get 2 points tonight, but I'm sure you're going to come up with something that's going to knock me out again, my friend. Wow. So what you got going?
Speaking of basketball, we had a couple of deals this week with the NBA. The biggest one being the Knicks and the Nets trading. The Knicks finally parted with some of those first-round picks of theirs and threw them to the Nets along with Bogdanovich for Mikal Bridges.
Okay.
So now the four horsemen from Villanova are back together again with the Knicks.
That should be very interesting. Josh Hart, Brunson, and Bridges.
Right. And DiVincenzo.
Oh, he went to Nova too.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. Oh, this is going to be very interesting. So is Randall still there?
Yes, he's still there, and they're about to re-sign OG for 5 years.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, definitely.
That makes sense. Get him in therapy right now. Get them hamstrings right now.
I'm telling you. And now the Nets, they're in full rebuild mode. Yeah. And this is the first trade that the two teams have made since '83.
Yeah, I can believe that.
So there's going to be, you know, I see good things to come, especially with Tibbs at the helm. You know.
So. Yeah. I just, you know, as always kind of, you know, we got to look seriously at how the players are broke down physically, and we got to address that. We got to figure out how to address that.
Yes, definitely.
Because these guys are playing a lot of games, and they're playing a lot of games, and the protocols have to change, and for these guys to survive.
Yeah, definitely.
Definitely. And I think teams are going to have to get more skilled at developing or adding talent. But I won't get ahead of myself because I may get to talk about it later. But that's going to be critical.
I just want to say, being at the helm, Jeff Van Gundy, he's going to be Ty Lue's top assistant with the Clippers, and
makes sense.
Yeah, he coached him in Houston, so they had a strong relationship, and that kind of tipped the scale in Lue's favor because Van Gundy had gotten tons of offers to come out in the booth, and he turned them all down. Yeah. So that's going to be good for the Clippers,
absolutely,
one way or another.
No, absolutely. So,
yeah, so we'll see how that goes. So, what's with the college era of free agents? What's going on with that?
Well, I gotta always, say something about Coach Prime because that is my guy. And I guess I got a friend of mine who's a big time college D1 trustee. He's at a very, very high level, and we were talking, and just just really talking about the dynamic that is college sports now. High school players are going to have to be more ready to go, right? Because one of the things that articles I saw is a lot of high school players are getting cut. If they don't make a difference in year 1, year 2, they're basically getting cut and told to go into the portal, because those scholarships are precious, right?
Yeah.
Because now you have a guy who's maybe played 4 years, has got 2 years of eligibility, has matured and realized if I want to go to the next level, I need to give it 120%. So they're coming with a different mentality than I'm in high school. I was the biggest fish in the pond. It's all about me and I'm chilling. Nah, partner. Not if you want that NIL money. Not if you trying to get to the next level. Not if you want to get on the field. It's a different game. And so I think that it was already difficult to make that transition because depending on where you come from, you could be coming from a small pond. Now you're in a big pond. Maybe you was the guy. Now there's 2 or 3 guys ahead of you who are all Americans, and this senior may be up for the Heisman. So you go as a high school athlete, a lot of guys can make that adjustment. Your playbook is a monster. The demands of your time and working out is monster. It's dialed in. And now with this money, it's really dialed in. And it's about production. It's about production. And so,
yes, it is.
It's an interesting conversation I had with the trustee, and high school players are going to have to get more educated up, and then players who are on the team are going to have to get, I think, more education of what other skills do I have if I'm playing to get to the next level. And it's not just the physicality, it's the mental. Am I a good teammate? Am I coachable? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Do I know my assignments? You know what I mean? Guys are going to have to really develop themselves 360. They're really going to have to, if they're going to be able to compete. And I talked to our favorite NFL agent, Agent Marquez, and he echoed the same thing. It's business, Barry. It's all business.
Yes, it is.
So what you got going on? Oh, NFL, UFL. What you got?
Well, you touched on the UFL last week, and by the way, Wade Phillips coached the losing team in that championship.
You're so tough, Joe. You just no mercy. You got no mercy, Joe. None.
So, but here's what I'm thinking. Okay, since their season ended, 11 NFL teams have signed. 11 players have been signed by the NFL since then.
From the
UFL. Yes. Yes.
Yeah,
so I'm thinking the UFL could be like the NFL's portal.
Yeah, I think that was the goal.
Yeah, because this is an interesting dynamic now, because now you got these guys, they're coming off their season, so they're conditioned and game ready going into training camp.
Game ready. Because you always got people that go down, right, during the NFL season. So if I'm a NFL team, I'm looking for talent. You know what
That's right.
Agent Marquez said? They're always looking for talent. People go down, situations happen, people get hurt. It's just part of the thing. And so again, what does that do? That puts additional pressure on guys who are in camp, who came out of college, 1s, 2s, and 3s, who are maybe not producing. Now puts pressure on them, right? Like, hey, you know, you need, hey, I signed you for all this money. I need some production now. Because you see what happened with the quarterbacks, how they put that pressure, like, well, we paying you all this money. Yeah, you ain't sitting for 4 years and collecting a check. Get out there, Daniel Jones. Get out there. So now it's trickling, Joe, down to every position.
Well, what makes this so interesting is that a lot of these players were in the NFL. They were on practice squads. They didn't make it out of training camp. They went to the UFL and shown what they could do. And now the NFL saying, hey, okay, we'll take you, and you. The Cowboys took a quarterback and a linebacker. You know?
Absolutely. Because it's the development. You need time to develop. It's a different game. It's a faster game. The maturity kicks in, and people realize, oh, this really is a business. They will cut my tail. I don't care if I'm 1, 2, or 3 draft pick and I'm not producing and I'm chilling, sleeping in meetings. Oh, they will cut my tail. This ain't the NBA. They will cut me. See, in the NBA, you can get cut, but you still get the check.
Right.
Not so in the NFL, brother.
Nope.
Not so in the NFL.
So, but anyway, so the Raiders, they're ready to go. Devontae Adams and Jacoby Myers, they said they're ready to go. The quarterback situation has calmed down a bit. It's between Aiden O'Connell and Gardner Minshew now to see who gets number 1. And, now they got some additions to their receiving room. They got Trey Tucker, Jalen Guyton, and Michael Gallup, along with those receivers. So,
wow.
And they're in the midst of learning a new system under their new OC, Luke Getsy.
Okay.
And he worked with Adams in Green Bay. So Adams is kind of like mentoring the younger players and getting them, acquainted with the system. Yeah. So that's what's going on with the Raiders. So they might have a pretty good season, So we have to see how that pans out.
Did we miss our interview with that Raiders player?
No, not yet. It's July 20th.
Oh, okay. Sweet. That'd be a great treat for our Smarterfan family.
Yes, Absolutely. It will.
Man,
so go ahead.
Go ahead.
So what's going on with Reggie Jackson? I know you started you touched on it.
Well, a great friend of mine who coaches baseball and softball for his son and daughter. He's connected very high up in California with some MLB retired players, and he sent me this video clip of Reggie sharing that story of playing in AAA ball in Birmingham, Alabama, back in the 50s.
Yeah, I saw that.
And so again, it really just speaks to, like, I think it's a conversation that really needs to continue.
Oh, no doubt.
And people, somebody said to me, well, why do you think so? I said, think about the fact that we just lost Willie Mays, right? Who was number 24. I never saw this, Joe. And Jackie Robinson was what? Number 42.
Right.
And I wonder if that was done on purpose. For them, you know what I'm saying? Because they were so iconic, right?
Oh yeah.
So iconic in so many ways, right? So, I watched, the special present, celebratory send off by his son and Ken Griffey and Barry Bonds.
Yeah.
And it just, as I said, I was watching a very interesting, interview with David Justice, who we both know is a great, talking about, the lack of African Americans in baseball.
Yes.
And I think it's something that we really need to, that, all that money they spending in baseball, that there's no reason there should not be a little league team tied to every major league baseball team that's funded for this very reason. I mean, it's nice to have the celebratory, but there needs to be something done concretely that really works at bringing more African Americans back to the game that we were first allowed in. Right? Going back to the 40s. There needs to happen. And there's no excuse, because if you can pay Ohtani $700 million, and I ain't mad, I hope he gets some more money. That means you have more than enough money to sponsor 3 or 4 teams. Throughout the country to encourage kids to play, black kids and brown kids to play baseball. And I saw something that really, it brought me back to when I was 8, 9, 10 years old. This little kid, man, I sent the video. I don't know if our producer can play it, but when you see this kid step up to the mound.
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
Oh, my goodness. I was 8 years old again, Joe. I was 8 years old again. So maybe we could, if it's possible, we could show part A, and then maybe next week we could show part B. But you got, Smarterfan fan, you got to see this kid, because it exemplifies so many things that is kind of like, this is why we play. This is why boys play.
Yeah.
This is why boys play. I sent it to my old college football roommate, because his son plays baseball high level, may get drafted out of high school. He's that good. And he started laughing. And, because we grew up during that time where it was just different. The energy, of being it was just different. So Smarterfan family, maybe if we don't play it, we can post it or do something. But you got to see this kid. He has got the fire, man.
Yeah.
The love of that was the love of the game.
Hot dogging it.
Hot dogging it, man. And the adults were cracking up. They were cracking up, because that is just the love of the game. But that's all I got for you.
Yeah, my niece's son, he just got a baseball scholarship to one of the local colleges in Greensboro.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
So we'll have to see how far that goes. He's really into it. So,
hey, listen, it's one of the sweet things. I was talking to a couple kids guys I coach about basketball, and we started talking about the economics. And I said, tell you the truth, you'd make more money playing baseball. Baseball, coach? What are you talking about, baseball? I said, do you know you can come out of high school and go to the pros? What? Yeah. They don't even know it, Joe. They don't even know. You can come out of high school and go to the pros in baseball.
It's happened.
It happens. And it's just, again, lack of knowledge, not knowing the history, and I always say, if my high school team had a baseball team, that's probably what I would have played. Above every other sport I played, and track I played, right? So, because I loved the game, we just didn't have a team. But, so it is, my friend. So as we always say in Smarterfan podcast, stay in the game, family. That's all I got.
That's right. Stay in the game.
Till next week.
Smarterfan.